Hi guys, I'm Steex Audio Video Production. Today I have the pleasure to present you this unit. This is the Tegeler Audio Manufaktur Raumzeit Machine. So today I want to talk about the sound of this machine. So all the detailed specification about this machine you can read in the website, so the Tegeler website. You have the link in the description. I received this unit for free, so this video is not sponsored by Tegeler. All the opinion, of course, will be as honest as possible and will be mine. First of all, what is Tegeler Audio? So let's talk about the Tegeler company. Tegeler is a German company that build really professional studio gear, let me say, calling outboard. So compressor, summing mixer, equalizer, this reverb, Raumzeit Machine, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the stuff that they build and sell directly in their website. Today I have here the Raumzeit machine. I hope that Raumzeit is the correct pronounce, because I really don't know anything about German, and this is really sad. It's enough that I know something about English, but about German really nothing. Yeah, it's really sad, so sorry. So what is this machine? This is a reverb, is a tube reverb, really all analog tube reverb. It's really heavy, and you know I really like heavy stuff, because heavy means really well built. So first of all, the looking of this machine, as you can see, is really simple. You have only 6 knobs and a really giant screen. Let me say, this screen is really great and is really useful to monitor your input and output, because in this screen you will see 2 colors, a blue color, cyan color, and an orange color. The cyan color is your input, so with your knob input you can see how much signal you are sending to this machine, while the orange color is your output, so how much reverb you are returning on the signal. Okay, and this is really useful. Let's start talking about the downsides. You have this giant screen, and it's really cool to have, but basically only a really small portion of the screen will work. Basically the other is only a static color. Let me say, it's really cool, this static color, but it's not useful. So I don't understand why this giant screen, but only a really small portion, a small circle portion will be useful, will work for you. But anyway, it's really cool to have. It's really important for me to have this screen, because it's cool to see this color that is working, so you know how much signal you are sending, too much signal maybe, or less signal, and we will see too much signal how it works. So basically you will create really cool saturation, because you are sending a lot of signal to tubes. Pay attention, this is all analog with tubes, and will interact in different way compared to digital stuff. This is really cool. The other knobs that you have is, of course, the bypass knobs, which is really cool because we light up in orange. You have, of course, the input that I already told you. You have the pre-delay. This is really cool to have, to keep all the attack, all the peaking, all the really transient clear and not wet. Really great. Then of course you have the size of your room, really small room or really large room, to create really great reverb. The density is really cool, because the density will change basically all your reverb sound. Really small amount of density will create a reverb that is really soft, but with really high amount of density you will create some sort of saturation also on the tubes. Basically the reverb comes alive. Really great. Then of course we have the decay, because longer decay you will have a reverb basically that will be infinite, and really short decay you will create basically a very small room, let me say. And the most important knob, which is the mix knob. So with this knob you can decide how much reverb you want to listen in your track. So you can make a balance, okay? Really great. Then of course you have the power LED status and the switch. Talking about the back, let me turn this. You have, of course, stereo balanced input and output. Only XLR cable, so no any TS, TRS. For me, this was a bit tricky because I have a patch bay which is all TRS input and output, so I have to purchase a cable which was TRS to XLR to make it work properly, but it's okay. As you can see, you have the USB, which is not for you, is only for Tegeler to make some maintenance, and the Ethernet cable. This Ethernet cable is a plus. Why? Because you can connect this unit directly to your router or connecting to your computer. So you have anyway the diagram in the manual how to connect this. And why this? Because you can control this unit remotely with a plugin. This is really incredible. I'll show you in a moment, guys, because you can also not have this unit aside from your desk. So maybe is really far from you where you have all the racks, and you can control staying in your desk with a mouse click. And basically all these knobs are all rotary motorized knobs, and clicking on the plugin, basically these will move accordingly and you can control from your desk. This is really cool because when you are mixing something, you want to listen. You have to be in the spot of your position listening to your monitor, and having the rack in other space, you will listen a totally different thing compared to stay in a spot, looking on your monitor and clicking with your mouse, moving the plugin knobs, and remotely also this will move. This is really, really great. And let me say, the only digital stuff is only the plugin that remotely will control this. So there is no any digital sound. All the sounds will come from this. Only the knob will be moved by the plugin. Okay, pay attention to this. All the sounds will be totally analog, pure tube sound. This is really, really great. And today I want to focus on the sound. So I'll stop talking. I'll move to my desk and show you some sound samples. Okay, so I'm here on Studio One, very brief mix session. Basically, I've created this only for this tutorial, so it's made of some loops. So let's listen the sound of this song. I want to create something really soft and really ambient. So let's listen. There are only a drum kit, as you can see here, kick, snare, and all the others. Then here I have an acoustic guitar, and then I have also a bass guitar. Then here I've also an electric guitar. But let's start listening together the very raw mix, and then let's apply the reverb. So it's really simple. As you listen, there is this electric guitar, and it's already processed, so I will not process this guitar. Then I have another electric guitar here. As you can listen, is really mono, so I want to open up with the reverb, so to get some space. Then I have the bass. It seems an acoustic bass. And then, of course, the acoustic guitar. So this session is already pre-mixed, as you can see here, but not so much, only some compression on the acoustic guitar and also on the snare, as you can see here. It's pretty raw, let me say. What I want to do now, I want to use the Raumzeit Machine on the snare to get, let me say, not a really too giant space, really controlled room space. Then on the acoustic guitar, I want to get a sound really soft and really long with the acoustic guitar. And then with this electric guitar, I want to create a stereo space. So this will be my purpose. You can also listen the tail, basically stopping the track. It's really short. I want to create a really long space with this acoustic guitar. So let's add some sides on the room. Okay, and the decay longer. Okay. Let's add more density. Yeah, I really like this. Of course, it's too much, there is too much reverb, so I can play with the mix. Okay, now I want to add the pre-delay. So basically I want to preserve the attack of my guitar, so to get really clean attack, really clean picking, and then the tail I want to get reverberated with the Raumzeit Machine. Let's add more pre-delay. You can listen that it starts after the reverb. It's built up after. It also creates some movements I really like. Maybe longer, but the sides smaller. Maybe too much mix. Okay, let me say I really like the result. So now I want to print my result. So I create a new track, I call it acoustic print with the correct input, and now let's record. Okay, now as you can see I have two tracks now. Here is basically the raw acoustic guitar, and here is the processed. Raw, processed. it's really musical. I really like this reverb. Really useful. Now let's create a really long reverb with the electric guitar, which is, I guess, this one here. As you can listen, it's really mono. So let's create a loop. Okay, now let's create, of course, not so long. Maybe without the pre-delay, because here it's playing very fast and it's not stopping the playing, so the pre-delay is not really useful. With really short sides, as you can listen, with long decay, basically it's creating this ping pong effect in the room, because it's started to ping ponging the sound from the wall. Opening the sides. Okay, less density is better. I can also create, so I can also manage basically this guitar to get really soft, so increasing the mix. And having this track really low in volume to get a soft pattern. Okay, let's print this track. Let's create again here another track, and this is the electric guitar print with 7/8. Okay, and now let's record. Let's listen together with the acoustic print. Okay, for me it's really too loud, so I want only to create this really soft pattern. Okay, now the last thing that I want to do is to enlarge basically the room of my snare. So let's listen only the drum. You can listen, it's really dry. So on the snare, let's open the pipeline. Stereo. Let's create the same routing, because it's always the same machine. Okay, let's mix something. Okay, here I don't want super long reverb, but only to create a, let me say, medium to large space room. So the size. Oh, this is really interesting. So opening basically the sides, as you can listen, it's creating this ping pong effect. I think this is due to the fact that it's a tube machine. So basically, it's something related to the saturation of the machine, of the tubes. Sorry. The delay. I like this. Of course, it's too much. I really like how behaves this density. Without density, it's really static, but with density, it's more alive. Okay, I really like the result. So without, it's really static. With the Raumzeit on the snare, okay, let's add now the acoustic guitar that I've printed, the electric guitar and the bass. Let's listen the result. I really like it. I really like it. I really like the background with this electric guitar here. Before was like this. Now like this. I really like much more in this version. Guys, this is the Raumzeit Machine by Tegeler. I really like this device because it's really natural, the sound, and you can really create a reverb that you can really use. There are not so many knobs to tweak. There are not so many things that you have to know and understand to use this machine. It's really easy, friendly to use, and grant you a really great sounds. Tube sounds, really warm reverb, and I really like the behavior of the reverb with really high amount of sides, so large space create this ping pong effect, really useful, so you can really manage really cool thing. I want to show you now how to use this Raumzeit Machine with the plugin, because you can control the plugin. Basically, let me say, on the acoustic guitar, okay, I have here the previously acoustic guitar, which sounds like this. Okay, let's create, for example, a very long space as before. okay? For example, like this. Of course, it's too long, in my opinion. Now, you can open the Raumzeit Machine plugin, and as you can see basically the plugin itself. And this is very important because basically I can have my machine here, but you can also have a really large studio, and you can have the rack at longer distance from you. So you can manage your Raumzeit machine remotely because you have the Ethernet cable basically behind, connected to your router or to your PC. And as you can see, I'm seeing exactly the same settings that I've in my real machine. And if I change something, for example, the mix, as you can see, is moving the mix. And it's really silent also, the motor basically that you have inside. How is cool? You can manage everything. And the really cool thing is that you can create automation for this plugin that will communicate to the outboard. So let me say the plugin is the only thing that is digital, but the sounds will come only from the outboard, okay? The digital plugin is only to remotely control the outboard, okay? It's all analog process. So let's create an automation. For example, I want to control the mix and the decay, okay? Let's create, for example, automation for the mix here, where is this gap. So here I want to have basically a sort of increasing of the mix. Let's create something like this, okay? And you can see that it's moving, and let's listen. Let's make it faster, but let me say you cannot create too much fast processing because the motorized knob has its own maximum speed, okay? So keep in mind this. Okay, now let's create a decay effect. For example, I want to start with a decay lower. Here I want a long decay. Maybe higher, if I can. Let's see if the motorized knob can follow the automation. Sort of. It's too basically fast, this automation. It's really cool, guys. I think this is the right future for a studio. So analog gear, but with remotely controlled by digital plugin. I think this is really great and works pretty fine for me in my studio. So guys, for me it's a great machine, a great sound, great color, really warm because you have, of course, a tube processing. Basically there are not too much knobs to use. Basically what you see is really what you need, because you don't need to create really strange effects, really strange reverb that basically I think you will not use. So you have basically the sound really useful for any kind of production, a really warm sound and natural sound. It's really musical reverb. So guys, you have the link in the description to know more about Tegeler company and the Raumzeit machine if you are interested. You can also try out the Raumzeit machine for free for I think 15 days. I don't remember very well. You can have the possibility to receive the machine and try out for free, and if you really like the unit you can purchase it. This is a great approach from Tegeler Audio, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think about, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.